Hey, Tom.
Hey, Matt, man, we did it this time.
I know we
caught
did.
ourselves before we said anything stupid.
So to catch everyone up, I'm
Yeah.
Googling Amanita muscaria gummies because we recently wrote an article about a bunch of stuff in it. It's actually working rather well. So I'm excited about, dude, it's a great time to be alive. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, for all the shit that you could sit here and bitch about fucking douchebags like Trump or fucking crazy people like Putin or whatever. Yeah, there's a bunch of whack jobs in the world, but there's always been a lot of whack jobs in the world. Like, I don't think that's a uniquely here and now thing. But you know what is uniquely here and now? We have some dope ass shit going on in the world.
It's crazy. Every time. What is that? It was the best of times. It was the best of times.
You live in interesting times.
It's crazy, man. You just did a mashup with Mockingjay there.
Yeah.
Not
Dude,
too bad.
I watched a thing earlier today on a company called Eternova that makes diamonds out of your dead
people.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, if this isn't the most interesting time to be alive, I don't know the fuck.
That does What's sound your bar? Very Hunger Games. That does sound very Hunger Games.
If this doesn't hit your radar as the best time of your life, what the fuck are you looking for in the world, buddy?
Like, you know what? You know what? There's, and I think this is our poor little amygdala, and I pick on this a lot, especially on that right side.
Our poor little amygdala.
That is the every stick is a snake part of our brain. And I feel like we get so caught up in, and rightfully so. I don't want fascism, I do believe that we're like so revved up that we miss all of this amazing, crazy shit. Right?
I mean,
I showed you. I sent you a text of the photo of that weird device, and I told you I fucked it up because I didn't fast.
Yeah.
He's like, no problem. We checked out your center. Do you want 10 to 15 of these to try out? Yes, I do. And this is like a little.
Can I get in on that?
You absolutely, dude. I'm going to give it to anybody that will use it. So this is supposed to check over 500 metrics in your
First of all,
blood.
that thing looks barbaric. Was that torture putting it on you?
No, it's essentially, this is the crazy thing, right? Anybody that's done a constant glucose monitor.
Okay.
It's very similar, right? It's a teeny tiny needle.
Okay.
They say you got to massage the arm first, right? And the difference between this is it has a reservoir for blood. So that stuff that you saw hanging down.
I saw that. Yeah.
Was basically, and I mean, we're not even talking like if you go give blood and they take one vial, that's infinitely more blood than this is.
Oh, interesting.
So what I'm super excited for is like you've got a concierge doc. I just did a pretty intense panel.
I told you my concierge doc blood panel wasn't 500 biomarkers.
But I talked to the staff about this because I'm trying to get them excited because if they're sending me 10, I want people where I can see the data to tell me about it, right?
Sure.
But like we have some things where we can compare, but like, do I need to know the level of every amino acid in my body?
So I have some thoughts on that actually. No, you don't. You don't need to do anything.
No.
You could have woke up this morning and smashed like a Big Mac with a thing of 20 nuggets and a fries.
As I'm sipping on my Chick-fil-A soda that was an extra that my kids got.
And you could
I'll drink that.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, you could do that all day, but like the fact of the matter is like, I mean, look, I took that food sensitivity test a couple years ago, right? And I largely knew and still think I have no problem with food of any kind, right? I'm not allergic to shit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I've been making my homemade nut mix for 15 years where I buy, pistachios, walnuts, almonds, whatever. You put it in a bucket and you shake it up and I just come grab handfuls like a wild boar, like every now and again,
Yeah.
And for years I was like, God, every time I eat this, my mouth tingles.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out I had a high reactivity to cashews and almonds, which are like my two favorite fucking nuts on the planet.
Honestly, cashews do fucking rock. And if my food sensitivity comes back with a cashew problem.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible, man. Trust me. I mean, I didn't miss almonds. Almonds I do like quite a bit, actually.
Almonds aren't bad, but cashews are definitely my jam.
Cashews are like gold. They're fantastic.
You know what's crazy? Because I forgot where the cashews are from, but have you ever seen a cashew plant? I get a tree.
Yeah, they're trees, aren't they? In those pods.
Yeah, but like the cashew is like this little fucking dick that hangs off the bottom of this fruit. Like I have no idea. No idea how else to phrase it. It's just this little thing on the bottom of a fruit, and it's funny because like we eat that part. But the people that are, and I forgot what region it's from again, but the people there go, no, you eat the fruit. You don't eat the fucking...
Yeah, you don't eat the nut. What are you, crazy?
What are you doing?
What kind of crazy person eats the nut?
And I'm wondering if like, it's because
that looks like a dick on this fruit. Why would you eat that?
This kind of makes you itchy. Don't eat that. You know? And I'm like, are we removed from the stuff we're eating that we're like, yeah, I'm a little itchy, but who the fuck cares? That was delicious.
Yeah, but like, so my point is like, yeah, it was great. And that's the thing. I fucking love them. But here's the thing. Did I need the food sensitivity test? No. But did it provide me like a modicum of useful information? It did.
Yeah.
I took those out of that nut mix and replaced it with macadamia nuts, which I don't like as much, but they're not bad.
Why not go more expensive?
They're not expensive. Well, No, they're more expensive than cashews. I forgot, but I mean,
they definitely
here's the thing.
are.
Pistachios, the shelled pistachios that are put in there, like $18.50 a pound.
It's crazy.
And like, so basically, like everything else is cheaper, right? Like, so you're kind of like, so it's like a sliding scale, right? You're like, well, I mean,
but like a $50 mix or an $80 mix.
Well, one of those huge containers, those vacuum sealed containers with the button in it.
Yeah.
That is probably like at the grocery store if you bought like a mixed bag, and you wouldn't even get the diversity that I have in this one. This one's got Brazil nuts, which are great for selenium, by the way. Yeah. Like, like you get macadamia nuts, which got all kinds of fucking omega-6 in it. Like, I mean, there's like, this is like a curated list that you're not going to get in a bag, but it would be like $400 worth of nuts if you were to fill that container.
Well, but even look at what they do. Like Planters, if you get their nut mix that has most of those, it normally doesn't have the macadamia nuts. They're like, they have to say on the outside, no more than 40% peanuts. It's like 40% peanuts is the cheap way out, man.
Right. And it's a cheap way out. And like, the thing is, I don't even put peanuts in mine. I actually have raw peanuts in a bowl now permanently on my counter because you're going to laugh at me, but I did this whole weird Google vortex about the shells of peanuts, like the husks, not the shell, but the little brown, the little paper is like stupid high in antioxidants. Like it's like ridiculously high in antioxidants. And I was like, well, who doesn't like fucking peanuts? Plus it's fun to crack them up. And I sit there in a conference call.
If you're ADHD.
No, it's amazing. Yeah.
Great food. Great snack.
Great food. This is like a wonderful snack.
I love the salt on them too.
No salt. No salt.
Oh,
unsalted.
God damn it, you heathen.
No. Yeah. Unsalted raw peanuts. Basically what I thought was funny, and this is where Sarah looks at me and she like laughs. She's like, is when you shop for raw peanuts on Amazon, you're shopping for squirrel food. It's like literally most of it, 9 out of 10 are sold so you could feed the squirrels in your backyard.
I've told you about my buddy Chester P. Nuttington. He's the squirrel that we've become quite familiar with in our backyard.
That's funny.
And
do you feed him?
My family now has a peanut budget
for hilarious.
The squirrel, and it's probably about $30 every 2 or 3 months.
Oh yeah,
we'll go to Ace Hardware and pick up the peanut bag.
That's the peanut bag I'm eating, more or less.
It's like $25, but the raw peanuts and no salt or anything.
Nope, that's exactly what I'm eating.
And
like,
I'm
literally.
going, why couldn't I eat these?
The only difference is you got to be very careful here. There is a small but very important difference. The ones for squirrels that are cheaper are unpasteurized. The ones that are not like
So what do? They boil them?
It's like 0.01% more expensive for human consumption, but just as bland as those ones. You have to get them pasteurized, like for sure.
I
although you know what? I'm sure there's mountain people out there that are like, no, you don't. Just fucking.
No, you don't. That's a fucking lie.
That's a lie. You don't need that.
You keep the eggs in the fridge. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I had an Irish guy that I played pool with for years that literally was like, you put eggs where? Like, was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Because we wash them. So you get this membrane off of the outside of the egg and it doesn't preserve as well. So if you get them right out of the chicken's ass and you rinse them off, they're shelf stable for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they wash them with something that
gets rid of it,
pulls that membrane off, probably because they don't want you to eat chicken shit too, which I'm okay with that.
It's a small trade
in the fridge.
I've got a big refrigerator, and they'll fit.
It's only 12 eggs. It doesn't take up that much room. But it's so funny because I had this discussion. I have my friend who I'm going to get her on the show one of these days. She's a PA. She's a brilliant person. She's the one that just did the bloods for me. Her son comes into the office, does all our biohacking stuff. And then, we kind of have this relationship. We send patients to each other. Well, his son comes in, or her son comes in and says, hey, Mark, who's the head of this practice, who's like a medical savant, started taking methylene blue.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I asked him about that years ago. And he goes, I don't know. It looks okay. And now he's taking it. And I go, okay, so I stopped taking it because I only had lab grade quality. And everyone online was yelling at me to get pharmaceutical grade. And I can't find pharmaceutical grade because it's not a supplement or a prescription. It's a lab stain.
Right.
And I'm like, how much difference is the lab at 99 point whatever percent versus a pharmaceutical grade that's like 99 point a little bit more percent clean?
No idea.
And there nothing on any website, nothing on. So I'm probably going to get back on that train because peeing scope blue is kind of fun.
It sounds fun, yeah. And I actually never ended up finishing the trochees that I had from that one company. I got into other things. The Qualia nootropics were definitely much more compelling.
And I think they were like, oh, be careful, start with a quarter, right? And I'm like,
yeah, I took a quarter. It was zero.
Yeah. I'm like, great, you stained my tongue blue.
Yeah. Well, that's their whole marketing shtick, right? Like everything's better with marketing, right? Like, I mean,
just fucking pop the fucking powder in your mouth. You'll be blue for a week.
Yeah.
And you get a therapeutic dose.
Well, that's the thing. Like that, didn't we say on that when we looked at that, it wasn't a therapeutic dose of any of its constituents.
Any of the three. I can.
And it was off by an order of magnitude.
Yeah, it was like, hey, 1 milligram for nicotine. Hey, this is not a 1 milligram of nicotine.
Right.
Yeah, or maybe it was 1 milligram of nicotine, but 3 milligrams was what the recommended dose is if you're using it as a nootropic.
Right.
Something like that, but I know we were doing the numbers when we looked at it, but I mean, I bought the gel pills. I got the pill hole filler. Why not make a bag of them?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, why not? All right. Listen, Tom, we can talk about methylene blue all day.
We could,
but we got to talk about.
We just glanced over the Amanita stuff.
I know. We'll get back to that. We should do an episode on that one day because it's an interesting
literally on Amanita.
Yeah, can we? Yeah, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
I don't know, man. I don't know how much Eastern European folklore we can get into there, but
yeah, well,
we are coming up on Christmas time, and that's the story.
I mean, you got to do the research, Tom. You got to do the reps. You gotta
John Lilly, the guy that invented float tanks, who was a real big fan of ketamine, said he came up with what he called Lilly's law: don't do anything to a subject you wouldn't do to yourself.
Sure.
So, he also appeared on like 60 Minutes in a raccoon skin cap and told the story of him high on ketamine, screaming for his wife to come in because the aliens stole his penis.
Wow.
Seems like live, amazing. We should pull that clip up. That's amazing. Oh, wow. Let's get to it.
Let's watch Party That someday. Yeah. So for anybody, listen, something premiered today that I just feel like we would be completely just stupid for not pausing and just
things happen so quickly. We have 4 other topics. This is the first time we're not hurting for topics.
No, yeah, we have so much
to talk about. It's like, Oh shit!
Nope.
You want to talk about that? No. This just happened.
This just happened, and like let's talk about it because it so perfectly encapsulates everything we talk about here. So lay the stage real quick, and then I just wanted to get into this. But Bryan Johnson sold his company for gazillion dollars,
Yeah.
right? Right, and he, like other, I don't quite think he was a billionaire, but he certainly was close. I mean, he was
he did all right.
He did phenomenally, right? What was it? It was the Braintree software is what he sold, right? And
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, well, and Braintree bought Venmo, and then PayPal bought the combined business for $1 billion. Like he was smart guy, right? Like he not a dumb guy.
And he's got a huge following on YouTube. So you can watch his stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got over 500,000 followers.
Yeah, and he's a really interesting cat, right? Like, I mean, he's super intelligent. Like,
and out of his fucking mind. Like,
but he is out of his fucking mind. Let's be honest. Now, listen.
Yes,
I got to tell you, and here's the thing: I did not watch this. Purposely did not watch this.
Well, when you texted me, I'm like, oh shit, he watched it without me. So I'm so glad you didn't watch it.
No, my God, no. I have to literally, I had to say, no, I'm not going to watch this at all because there's no, can you hear that or no?
I cannot. And what do you want? Is that, which source is this again? Is this,
it's the link on YouTube. Yeah. So.
Did you throw it in the chat there and I missed it?
No, but I can. No. So here's the thing. Like, this guy spends $2 million a year. The headline is that he spends $2 million a year. And I'm putting this in the chat for you.
Thank you.
To basically have this protocol. And I think they call it the blueprint, right? I looked it up briefly because I wanted to see if he had, I actually was not previously aware that he had packaged this. So I did.
Well, if you watch his channel, it's very clear that this is his
ramp up
marketing effort. Yeah.
Now here's the thing. He has honestly, listen, there's one side of him that I think I'm super jelly of. One, if I had this kind of money, my house would look probably very similar to his. Like, I mean, he has got a full on, self-optimizer's paradise playground. Like, there's a room that's just dedicated to exercise, and he's got, these crazy exercises he does, and he's got a PA, what looks like a PA and a full, medical grade treatment center in his house. It's
absolutely, and everything's measured, everything's regimented, everything has a place.
Everything's got a place. And he is turning this around and basically has published all this stuff online. It's all free. It's very much open source. I mean, he's literally open sourcing everything. And it's funny because once you just do, I read a stat today that said you can follow his blueprint for $1,500 a month, not paid to him, but that's what it costs for the food, supplements,
the food and everything. Yeah.
Right.
And it's pretty funny because yes, he wants you to buy the package, but there's nothing proprietary about it.
No, he's not. You don't buy it from him. You download the formula for free, and then you go out and you buy the quinoa.
Really?
Yeah.
I really thought he was selling it as a package. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody else is.
He might be selling. I didn't check him yet because I didn't know I don't. He said in an interview that I saw that was not this one. By the way, this is not the first time somebody has followed his thing and filmed it.
Yeah.
And
and YouTube and TikTok are full of people doing what he's doing.
Sure. Yeah. No, they're all over the place. But this guy's probably the most famous. So I think we need to have a watch party here real quick. It's a short watch. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Can you see it if I do this though? Let's see. All right, we just got to see if you can hear this, and if you can, then we are good to go.
You're going to share the screen, and we'll do it that way.
It's coming up. Yeah, check it out. Here it comes.
Let's see. Even if we just put the captions on, can you caption this shit?
Yeah, I don't know. You think we would actually maybe have done that beforehand?
This is off the cuff.
Yeah. I don't actually think I can do it. Maybe you can do it.
I will do my best.
So while you're teeing that up, this guy is awesome for a couple reasons. One is that there's nothing off limits, right? Yes. There's nothing off limits with this, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy's like, hey, I want to know the age of my left ear versus my right ear. And he's like, I'm on it. And that to me is super crazy because like, how do you, I wish I had I say it's crazy, but I'm like, I wish I had the money to do it.
Yeah, you know, on one hand, like we were just talking before, like why would we want to measure that? And on the other hand, it's like, well, because you can. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like I would do this if I was him. Now, here's the thing: I've seen
800 million is what he sold Venmo for, whatever it is.
Yeah, Venmo, Braintree. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. This cat made a fortune. Like, I mean. So $2 million a year for the opportunity to kind of do whatever the fuck you want. That sounds great.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you're going to press play there, and if we ever publish this on YouTube, that's great. But
will YouTube love YouTube?
I don't know. Will YouTube love YouTube?
Henson shaving.
There you go.
Henson is an aerospace.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, totally.
Mars rover.
All right, so there's a razor commercial now.
There is a razor commercial, which is not part of this, but
did you see that he does have a Livo too?
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's got the mask on.
That's funny.
Also found that microscopic variances.
Here, I'm just going to mute this until we get to the juicy parts.
Yeah. Here we go.
But yeah, man.
He's reading his ad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy that did it is from a channel called Hard Reset, and I've seen some of the stuff he did. It's really a cool channel. I definitely think people that are into this would probably be into this too if they don't know it already. But it's got a lot of really cool stuff up there. And so I watched a little bit of it. I'm excited just because I'm like, wow. Well, what does he do here? I love that he's reading his own commercial, so that's fantastic.
Well, yeah, you know,
and this is an intense commercial.
This is like a minute and a half long. I'm gonna skip ahead a little because the razors look lovely.
Yeah, let's get this done, shall we?
But if anybody would like to,
this is just intros. Just come on,
back to reverse aging. There we go.
There you go.
All right, boom.
The sponsored section is now over. Let's get back to reversing.
How great is that, though? He's actually doing something pretty smart. You don't have to watch a fucking commercial in the middle of the video.
No, you're right.
This is Bryan. He wants to be young again. And he's
do I.
Really, really serious about it.
Nice to meet you. I'm Nick. Thanks for taking the time to show us around today. Really appreciate it.
I hope he says his age because he looks to be...
He's 46.
Bryan has undertaken
He's our age. Yeah, he looks younger than us.
To see if he can go back to being 8.
You don't think so?
That sounds crazier than it really is.
We wanted to pose a question.
Well, we got the red light.
Of youth here right now is just hiding in tens of thousands of scientific publications. So what you see here is basically the result of 2 years' effort. You likely think it's about health and wellness, but really is about something.
So he reversed his age back to 10.
What I really want to try to communicate with Blueprint is after 2 years of doing this, it's here, meaningfully here. What's coming could dramatically extend our lifespans. I don't think that we can fully comprehend the potential.
See, this is really cool. This is a 3D blood vessel tracking.
Stay alive.
Right. I mean, this guy's got great graphics.
Blueprint is Bryan's open source project to create a system for self-care that essentially runs itself for the rest of your life. It's a complete overhaul
Look at that.
His diet,
I mean,
his fitness activities, and how he measures the impacts on his body.
What we do systematically is we measure every organ in my body. We look at all the scientific evidence. We implement the protocol, and then we do it again. Evidence, data, protocol.
Right.
Repeat. And so this diet in me has produced 50 perfect biomarkers. It's slowed my speed of aging by the equivalent of 31 years. My body now accumulates aging damage slower than the average 10-year-old.
Crazy.
I mean,
for Bryan,
hit pause real quick.
You got it, man.
So, dude, so that's happening today, right now. Like this just happened, and like this guy's numbers. For the purpose of argument on this today, let's assume that his numbers are accurate, right? Like the guy's, because I think I do have a pretty high degree of faith that he's got a lot of integrity attached to this project. And I feel like
well, if he's giving it away for free and he's worth $800 million,
right?
What's the point? He won.
Well, yeah, right. And that's the thing. And like, so now it's like basically like that aging is crazy. Like aging at the age of now he was very careful about his words. And I think this is actually an interesting sidebar here is that he didn't say I'm the same age as a 10-year-old. He says I collect signs of aging like a 10-year-old.
And I think that's fair because like clearly he can't, we talk about, David Sinclair even says slower reverse aging, right? And that's not turning back the clock. You're not going to Benjamin Button the fucking thing. But the idea is that you're not damaging your body anymore, or you're reversing some of that damage that has happened, right?
Correct.
Oxidative stress, all of that stuff.
Right. All right. Let's keep going. But I just thought it'd be crazy that this guy's doing this like now.
The idea that a single number.
Well, he's got the money and the time. He's got a PMF device. He's got all the toys.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Of this massively complex system.
I read about him today. Now I can't wait to see this because
your skin might age much differently than your organs or your muscles or your bones.
And this is actually an intriguing part too, is that he's tracking aging on different vectors depending on what you're talking about.
How these different
I think that's brilliant.
I've never heard of it.
For each of these aspects.
Well, it makes sense, right? I mean, if you're living out in the sun, you're definitely going to get more sun damage.
It starts with an intense workout every morning. Also, enough supplements to stock a GNC and a strict diet that I got to sample.
So I'll wake up in the morning and I'll drink this green giant.
Okay.
And it has amino acids, spermidine in the form of chlorella powder, collagen peptides, cinnamon, creatine. Take 60 pills. I'll work out for an hour. A pro move would be for you to drink the whole thing. However, that comes with some risks.
You're going to get the shits.
That you may find yourself in the restroom.
Okay. Called it.
And now,
like immediately?
There's like some variants.
Okay.
Like, sometimes not a bad thing.
I love that he says the pro move would be.
Like, if you want to have a full choose your own adventure, it may be fine.
Full screen that shit.
Some time in the bathroom.
How do I full screen this?
There you go.
Like I've never been on the computer before.
Yeah, how do you do that?
I'll eat anything.
We're totally mystery science scene during this.
Totally. Hey, Ryan.
Well, hold on.
Hey, Ryan.
Reynolds.
And I'm here in
I mean, look, he's sexy enough to look at. Why not?
It's really good.
Oh, look
He's
at you.
funny too. I fucking hate that about him.
Not gonna lie.
Apple juice with a little bit of.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like a shot.
Whatever that is, anything green and healthy, it's like my body's like, I love you. Like I would lick the fucking glass.
You know what always makes me feel funny?
And then
I am a founding member of the I just want to say.
Once they started calling it spermidine, I think they raised the price on it.
Pro right out of the gate.
What? No. What? I don't know that.
So.
Well, it's the cholera there. Cholera. Cholera. That'll give you the shits too.
What I call super veggie, and it's broccoli, cauliflower, shiitake or maitake mushrooms, black lentils, hemp seeds, garlic, and ginger. Take your olive oil.
See, I like all of those things individually.
This is an exciting thing.
That doesn't do it for me.
I add the 100% dark chocolate.
Okay.
And I pair it with the vegetables.
I mean,
actually,
pair it with the vegetables. Okay.
Yep. So chocolate with vegetables is not something that many people do.
So it's funny. He's got
dark chocolate is not.
He's got a mad chef that preps all of this every day.
I'm sure.
I find to be delicious. So
like he doesn't do any of this.
Why would he?
That's really interesting. I never would have thought to pair the chocolate with it.
Yeah.
And
but that's the thing. Like normal human can't have an assistant like this.
Nutty pudding.
And you said macadamia nuts. What were the others?
Walnuts. Flaxseed.
Okay.
Some pea protein. Berries. And 2 ounces of freshly squozen pomegranate.
Squozen? Really Did he just say squozen?
I think he said squozen.
Basically,
I don't feel bad about accidentally saying cholera anymore.
Yeah, no, that's not a word.
It's in a 6-hour window, so by noon every day.
He's worth almost $1 billion. He can say words however he wants.
How does that feel?
He's invented new words.
This is the thing. I love this protocol more than any other version of a previous life I've lived.
One other important
love
aspect
how weird he
of this
is.
beyond just how it affects our aging.
Look at this guy.
Is that
Blue
Bryan
light.
is trying to simplify the choices in his life so he doesn't need to invest energy in them anymore. Kind of like how
Red light
Steve
hat.
Jobs only wore black turtlenecks.
Constant glucose monitor.
If you can codify these healthy choices and make it a thought-free set of habits, that could set you up for a better life.
When I wake up in the morning, I walk through a process of going left to right. I'll start here. I'll grab
and
this
he has
guy
a chef
here,
that lays this
guy,
shit all out.
This guy, and then so on. So I basically never have to remember anything. I just walk through a process, and muscle memory takes over.
Right.
Oh, he's got the
Before, I
vagal
was
nerve
committing these
stimulator.
acts of self-destructive behavior.
Oh yeah, he
Why?
does HRV training as a
Too
part
much
of his
food,
morning.
Not sleeping properly, skipping exercise that was causing decay and aging. We'll do this. I had to say, all right, organs, you're now in charge. And what do you need to be your best selves?
I mean, look at this fucking
But
guy.
importantly, what I
He's
did
fucking
say
jacked.
is my mind
He is
no longer
ripped.
have authority to make any decisions. I had to destroy my mind before my mind could destroy me.
I don't know. Do you
think
feel
this sounds
like
like
looking
comic
at
book
him?
stuff,
There's
you're not
something
wrong,
almost
because it
robotic
does
about
look
him.
like
I told Sarah today, I said,
Like
he
Batman,
looks like an
Brian's
AI
superpower is that
avatar.
rich.
He
Spends
definitely
roughly $2
does.
million a year on this project, and even has his own fully equipped medical clinic.
Why wouldn't
in
you?
His house.
Look at this.
So this is a high frequency electromagnetic stimulation. It makes muscles contract.
An
Okay.
EMS
wanna sit
device.
Okay.
If you have a cell phone, you want to take it out of your pocket.
Because it will explode.
Countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. Okay. Yeah. I have to. I'm getting flashbacks from like
Yeah.
Burning Man getting a cattle prod,
Yeah.
but this is not nearly as bad as I was worried for a minute there.
You know,
Oh, yep. There it is.
You have
it is
pants on.
so
Nobody's down in
funny.
underwear, so.
Yeah, that's for the subscribers only.
I'm wondering if.
Of course, not everyone can afford their own.
Yeah,
medical.
no shit.
No.
And Brian isn't saying you should. He's trying the most extreme version of this so that others can take that information and build something that fits into their life.
I took it.
He's
all the way
literally
to the
having
outer
his
edges of
ears
frontier.
cleaned out.
And
Sure.
somebody, of course, can piece together what they can in their life, which is great. I wanted to give an example.
He
of
even
someone who
talks
really
like an
wanted to go
AI, though.
all in.
He
What could
doesn't
they imagine they could
like. And
achieve?
look at
It's
his
just my
face;
data
it's
on what
very
we've done.
mask-like.
I mean, it's meaningfully changed.
You know, I mean,
my
he
speed
looks
of aging
he
and
looks
my biological
young.
processes.
So to see how easy it is for
But
people
to see
do
the-
this, at Hard
The
Reset, we
problem I
decided to
have with
take
this,
Brian's
though, is
example
he
into our
looks
own
young if
version
you
of
look
the
at
blueprint
it
plan,
under a
based on the
microscope, but
starter guide on the
macro,
site for
he
30
looks
days.
like something's
The only
wrong with
question is,
a guy in
will
his
I
40s.
survive it?
But also,
We
are
wanted
you
to
getting
see
the
what it was
idea
like
that
to
it
use
almost
Brian's
feels like a
plan.
prison
So Rob,
experience?
previous
Yeah.
editor-in-chief,
Like
and
everything
I
you're
both
doing is
adopted
going
a
to happen in
simplified
this
version of
way.
the blueprint plan for 30 days.
What's a simplified
Today's
version?
your first day, right?
Yes, technically. So one of the things I thought was important when we did this was that we don't just do qualitative measurements. Like, I don't think it's super helpful to be like, I feel better or I feel slimmer in my pants. I feel like there needs to be some quantifiable data to this.
Thank God.
So at the beginning and end, I took several measurements to see what happened to my body.
Where's his DEXA
To
scan?
begin
Where's
with,
his
Yeah.
I
bod
took a
pod? Why not do
biological
that?
age test. Now, I know how old I am. I'm currently 43 years old. The question that this answers, though, is
I think he
how
looks
do your
older than
cells-
I
us.
do agree.
How old is your body behaving based on all the different genetic or
I love
lifestyle
that he's in
choices
his
that
basement
have
with like asbestos
So
hanging
you
from
take
the
a small
girders in
saliva
behind him.
Look,
sample
man,
with his-
honestly, we got the camera zoomed in on me. I'm in my
epigenetic
fucking
markers
basement.
that might show
No, I know,
what
but
your
I'm just saying, like, he's
biological
like,
age
there's
is.
like insulation. He's
Well,
got like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's got like this $1,000
My real
microphone
age is
set up.
actually
And he's
several.
spitting into a tube that's
They
gotta
combine
gotta give
to
him
show
raw
a
data.
biological age of roughly 36.
Oh, look
No,
at you. That's
no
pretty
way.
good. That's about 10
Expected,
years.
frankly.
9. Oh well.
It's not all good news, though. My brain
7
and
years.
my liver are actually aging a little faster than the rest of my body.
Hey, why is that?
I also took a DEXA scan. And
Oh,
a
he did
VO2
do the DEXA scan. Oh, there we go. VO2 max. Yeah, there we go. I feel like I called that.
I did
VAT
that.
stands for visceral adipose tissue.
Mhm.
In my opinion, this is the most important metric out of this whole process. There's a lot of data and statistics out there that correlate high levels of visceral tissue with an increased likelihood of diabetes.
Except for
heart disease,
visceral
that sort of
tissue, you
stuff.
can't really lose by
So
doing
you guys
exercise,
were
and it's
to
even
buy
harder
the
by
high-risk
diet.
range is
So
above
it's like a
100.
tricky little.
Anything you can do, especially as you get past the age of 50, to get that number closer to 100, I would definitely recommend.
Like, obviously, I'm not going to drop this 205 to zero,
Yeah.
but what is the sort of things you would hope to see after a month of, fairly intense lifestyle change?
If weight loss is your goal and you really dial in the nutrition, I think somewhere anywhere between 2 to 8 pounds a month. I know it's a wide range, but that's what I would say.
Okay, that's fair.
Honestly,
This
that is probably the most
waistband strap
honest
is
amount
disturbing.
to give somebody.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
it's
you
a
know,
lot to
the
take in.
slower you lose the weight, the more likely it is to stay off.
Have you heard of
Well,
turtle
sure.
traders? They were a group of 14 novice traders who were.
All right, so I lied. There is commercials through this, which kind of pisses me off after sitting through a 4-minute commercial for a razor blade.
we step on the treadmill here.
Yeah. All right. So he's getting things rolling with some
I got a
cardio.
VO2 score of 34.
I do want to do this.
I'm on the lower end.
That's
of average,
that's
which
low
is
of normal.
probably
Yeah.
fine for someone who barely does any exercise.
Do you have one of these at your shop?
There's lots of room
No.
for improvement.
That's more like you would get
We
that in
also
a
track
physiology
weight.
type place.
Then it was time to start
His
the plan.
Aura app.
Okay, so today is day one.
It's
of
close
the
enough,
Bryan
you know?
Johnson blueprint plan for me.
Sure.
He even got the same containers.
He did. I was like, he's like, hey, what container store
We
did you get those
started
at,
with the
brother?
supplements. Brian takes a
Wow.
lot of supplements. So many. So
There's
many.
Well, his
We
buddy's
used
doing
the
this with him.
recommended list from
Yeah,
his
why?
Blueprint starter guide, but
Whoa.
omitted anything
Holy
that required a prescription.
shit.
Hold on, press pause.
Buying a
What do we got here?
month's worth of these supplements
Let's go
cost
back. Hang
over
on one second.
Bryan Johnson blueprint plan for me.
Yeah, I
right.
want to just like.
I'm going to click it the second it comes through.
Bryan Johnson's blueprint.
We started with the supplements.
All right,
Brian
supplement.
takes a lot
Damn.
of supplements. So many.
Takes 10
So
minutes to
many.
swallow that many
We
pills.
used the recommended list from his
All right.
blueprint.
All right,
Once
hold
this
on.
comes
And
up,
Omitted
go.
anything.
boom.
All right, what do we got here?
Okay. So here's the other weird thing, right? We
Like
all don't
ashwagandha.
metabolize stuff the same way. And as you were talking before, like, look, you have nuts that are healthy, but they may not be healthy for you. So he is doing the metformin.
Yeah, CoQ10, 100
Um,
milligrams, D3, 2,000 IUs,
I got to look up this Viviscal. I don't know what that is.
vitamin E, garlic. See, garlic's not in my spread, and I think it should be. I actually been meaning that. Ginger is also another one. I
Hair
wanted.
growth supplement. Viviscal is a hair growth supplement.
Yeah, so I
I'm
started.
sharing my screen. Yeah.
I started taking Nutrafol actually because I was curious about hair falling out.
Oh, you pulled the trigger on that one.
I did, but like when I was looking at it, what's interesting about it is it's got like a ton of cool. It's like actually a really good multivitamin. It's like rich on what am I looking at? A, C, E, D.
Yeah.
And it's 2,500 IUs, and I take an additional 16,000 on top of that. So shit, I'm really up there with the D.
You know what? This is crazy to me because he's doing all the
Lysine.
things.
Yeah,
Right? Like look, rapamycin he's taking.
right, and it's doing
You know-
it. Yeah.
Oh my
Melatonin.
god! And he's on testosterone.
But he's got a lot like turmeric like in there.
Huge amounts of anti-inflammatories in this
Yeah,
diet.
it's
right
like
here.
anti-inflammatories
and
everywhere.
a lot, but it's so crazy because there's so much the DHEA, the testosterone, and even was there maca on this? Or I'm going nuts. I just can't even see
It's
everything.
funny. He takes taurine twice a day. That's interesting.
I'm wondering if it's because he's working so much.
And
That's-
turmeric twice a day.
Well, that's huge anti-inflammatory. And,
No, I get it. I'm wondering if that's a requirement though to tamp down all that exercise he's doing.
Well, it probably is, wouldn't it be? I mean, he's probably trying to get that out of his system. He's not bulky for the amount he's working out.
Yeah, and it's funny because this guy did anything that didn't require a prescription. All right, I got it. All right, that was
Well,
interesting.
the testosterone definitely does.
Now, can't you get a deodorant for that or something?
Testosterone? No,
Yeah.
that's definitely prescription. That's
But-
a prescriptive patch.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Well, what's this NDGA?
I don't know. What's that? Let me see.
You want to search
Yeah,
that one?
NDGA.
Buying a month's worth of these supplements cost over
Yep.
$1,000
Yep.
by itself.
It's closer to what you would see an elite athlete try to do in terms of optimizing their body, but also just like what it would be like for people who aren't eccentric billionaires to do this stuff with like the attitude that he has. Because like I walked into the grocery store to try to find just the ground macadamia nuts.
I couldn't find ground.
NDGA has anti-inflammatory,
I'm
anti-viral, antioxidant, and
One of the
anti-cancer
items that struck me
properties.
today was
What is
fresh
it, though?
Squeezed
I'm looking.
pomegranate juice.
Bro, I was looking all over for that.
Noradihydroguranic
Guriatic
acid.
Pomegranates for you every morning.
Okay.
For the diet portion, we followed Brian's recipes.
Neuroprotective benefits.
The Green Giant, the Super
Only
Veggie,
preclinical
and the Nutty
evidence.
Pudding. We were also
Aging
and
allowed
related health
each
concern.
day that we left
All
open
right,
to
all right.
interpretation, as long as it was
Extends
500 calories
lifespan in
or
mice,
less.
but benefits have not
Brian
been
is
extended to
vegan, but
humans.
Rob and I are not. So we allowed ourselves to have meat 3 times a week, as long as it was 1 serving or less and accompanied by vegetables and no processed
See,
foods.
This is where it gets a little weird. He's doing a version of it. It's not the same thing.
There was exercise.
Oh, he was allowing himself THC.
No, he said no, didn't he?
Exercise.
No? Oh,
I go
It's
back,
like normal
rewind.
things you might do, except it's not fun, and I don't enjoy it. We did it a week, as long as it was one serving or less, and accompanied by vegetables and no processed foods. We also didn't allow ourselves.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Alcohol
Okay.
or THC.
God,
Then
these are
there
fucking
was
Mormons.
exercise.
Yeah.
This is exercise.
Maybe that's why he looks so
It's
weird.
just like normal things you might do, except it's not fun, and I don't enjoy it.
The part of this that's killing it for
We did
me
an hour of
is the
exercise
fact that he
every
does
day
not look
with roughly
healthy.
10 minutes of each
He's got a
workout dedicated to
$1,000
high-intensity
microphone.
training.
Yeah,
and he's on a treadmill.
Introducing the onion.
and he's got
Platform.
and he's got the whole what you would call it, the 3D the 360 camera to make you look ridiculous.
Rob did weight training.
I gotta say, Rob looks like he's doing more than this
walked a
guy.
lot.
For sure.
In fact, I walked over 100 miles over the course of the experiment.
What was
So
it,
what's
30
like to
days?
live on
Yeah.
the Blueprint plan? Well, once you get used to taking massive amounts of supplements, that's not really something that impacts your day-to-day life.
No.
One weird side note, I noticed that the supplements had a substantial impact on my body odor. I think it was the iron supplements, because I noticed I had a metallic smell after working out.
See, this is
Also,
something
more
that
than
I
once,
think is a
had
little
coworkers told me that
controversial.
my skin was glowing, which was super
He does
weird.
look healthier.
The
Sure.
diet was mainly boring. There's nothing unpleasant about the food, with the possible exception of the spermidine and the green giant, which does take some getting used to. It's just boring, eating the same thing every day. With a little preparation, it's not too hard to pack all the ingredients you need to do Blueprint while you travel. But you will need to get used to the idea of watching your family eat food at restaurants if you can.
Yeah,
Just like
no
at work,
kidding.
When all your
And
colleagues
he's drinking tea.
you can.
Yeah, but I mean, from where that dude started to right there, I'm not gonna lie, he looks
He
better.
does look better.
I mean, it's like,
Eats the same thing over and over again.
You know what's crazy? With the HCG diet that I did, I lost a massive amount of weight very quickly. I put it all back on. But I will say the worst part of it was you got so bored of eating the same shit that you literally just, I'm not even going to eat.
yeah, I get
know,
it.
Yeah,
And the thing is, I don't have a problem with this. This is actually one piece of this puzzle that I don't suffer from. When I did 4 Hour Body back in the day,
yeah.
Tim Ferriss's whole thing was basically like, you're an adult, fucking suck it up. Just make the shit ahead of time. Don't fucking ask any questions and just fucking do it. So what if you have a flauta for breakfast? Who the fuck cares? You don't need like breakfast for breakfast or dinner for lunch or It's just food. You got to eat.
Well, and that's something that's uniquely, I would say, American, or at least this part of the northwestern hemisphere, where like breakfast foods are breakfast foods.
Right. And the funny thing about what he just said there too is he's like, it's boring eating the same thing every day. Well, what were you eating before this? You probably ate an Eggo waffle every day of your fucking life. So how is that any
more
different?
often than not?
Like
occasionally
how
you were like, oh, I'm going to get an egg sandwich at the deli.
Yeah, like how different is this? The only difference is this is green and it's a bunch of vitamins, and your other one came out of a box and you put it in the toaster oven. Like it's the same fucking idea though.
But yeah, you thought it was your choice.
Yeah, right. All right,
and really it was just marketing.
Yeah,
every day,
right.
Which is probably kind of the point. That
Yeah, of course it's the
trying
point,
to
dude.
Take all the choice out of this situation. You're just always
Because
forced to make
if
the
left
right
to
choice.
chance,
My
people
only
make dumb
concern
choices.
is a
Well,
month
how oftentimes do we reward ourselves for being so good about
health
something and completely
or
go
my biological age.
so far
Probably
off the
not.
rails?
Yeah.
I have to say, having done it now, it's not unpleasant. It's just boring.
Thursday, June 22nd. This is my 4th day. I measured
Okay.
myself before doing this weight wise, and I was about 232.
Oh, brother, you need
Scale
to be on this.
morning, and I am 222. I've only really been able to get to 2.
Look, man, I'm
Food,
thinking
man.
this is more
Food
reduction
is
of inflammation if it's weight loss that quickly.
Yeah,
If
sure.
he's roughly my size, dropping 10 pounds, that's inflammatory process.
Which means he is. That's what I said.
You are
232
not
for that guy's
hungry on this diet.
appearance. Like
Honestly, I was
you
often
probably
so
could use
full
to
that I
shave
didn't
off a
even
few
want to
here and
eat the
there.
third meal.
Yeah, he definitely
To
needs to
break
be
up the
smaller, but
monotony,
he
I
doesn't
would
look
change up the
horribly
recipes
unhealthy either,
without
you know?
deviating from the diet.
Dude, you just put soy sauce on
Plays
there.
in to the Blueprint Diet by Bryan Johnson. So far, I have lost a fair amount of weight, something like 8 to 10 pounds.
He looks very upset about it.
He does.
Definitely
I mean,
lost a lot of fat.
How dare you make me healthier, you motherfucker?
I don't know. I think he was holding in a fart or something, you know?
But I found that if I listened to a good audiobook, it passed the time a lot more quickly. Frankly, I was hoping that after doing this for a month, every day,
I wonder how much
I
planning
finally
went
had
into
the
shoot
experience of
him
having some sort
on
of
the treadmill.
endorphin rush associated with exercise.
Yeah, it's funny.
But
He's
I never did. I'm
No, of course you
apparently
didn't.
just not wired that way.
He looks noticeably thinner already.
Destruction I saw when I visited
Totally.
Ukraine was shocking.
All right, Ben
All
Stiller.
right, Ben Stiller.
I'm
Just
still
not
mad
been
at him
fun.
for Zoolander
I
too.
realized this morning that I had not been putting one of my regular prescription medications in to my nightly supplement regime for the last 6 days. So that probably contributed a great deal to my overall feeling of malaise.
What
brain fog,
what was his nighttime
fatigue,
prescription?
Yeah.
and just general
What is that?
confusion And vertigo. Definitely hoping that improves things because I was very much on the verge of quitting last night.
Oh, see, he looks fucked up. Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
He looks a million times better already.
I mean, you can see his whole face is
When I
different.
started this experiment, my main concern was that it would work, but that it would make me miserable. I mean, what's the point in living forever if you just want to die right now?
Okay, so
I
today
believe I
is
said
day
that when we were
24
talking about living
of
forever.
Bryan
Yeah.
Johnson Blueprint Plan. I have to say, I don't think I'm going to continue this afterwards as is. I'll probably
He looks
do something
so much
similar, but
thinner.
I probably won't do the exact same diet. And I'll probably try and keep up as much of the exercise as I can. Because I feel like it has been good for me overall.
But see, here's the
the
funny
next 6
thing.
days-
You've made it
So-
through a month and you're doing
But at
this
the end
exercise.
of-
Like the only thing putting you back to not doing it would you be voluntarily saying, I'm going
I don't
to
wanna do that anymore.
deprioritize this, which
Like
seems kind
clearly
of
he's
silly.
got the fucking time.
Because clearly you've got the fucking time. Somebody said something to me the other day that I actually immediately adopted forever and ever. Amen. Was time is a currency of care. Like I was like, oh my fucking God, you like
Oh,
nailed it.
that's pretty. That should be on a fucking.
Yeah,
picture
like
or
you
some shit.
fucking nailed it, isn't it? Right? Like it's like
You know, this
And-
whole thing is weird to me because, like, conceivably, he could keep up the exercise, pare back even the supplements a little bit, and be markedly more healthy than he is right now.
But here's the thing: if price isn't an issue, and you could swing the amount of money for the supplements,
Just do it.
just fucking do it. What's the difference? I mean, I spend probably way too much on supplements myself, and I take a ton. I probably take 25 pills a day.
I'm thinking a lot of stuff in that diet, you can get away with 1 or 2 anti-inflammatories. You can get away with 1 or 2 of those things. Like, how many times, like we know from Sinclair's book, like the metformin for longevity and it's fasting mimetic. We know rapamycin was in that book. Do you need to do both?
Well, I think
especially with the toxicity of rapamycin.
right. But if you look at like the maybe not toxicity, but if you look at the unfavorable GI issues that metformin causes in a huge portion of the population,
It absolutely did it to me.
maybe
Horrible
taking
heartburn.
smaller amounts of those things and spreading the burden out over slightly different mechanisms of action, you get
So
an
you're
aggregate
saying
effect.
I gotcha.
Right, like,
I gotcha,
so-
but like find a form that works for you. I mean, the berberine I've been taking no problem, and I take a
And
pretty
so-
big dose of that.
And so I've been taking it forever. I'm on month 3 now.
Yeah.
And I actually haven't noticed much of a difference. Like I haven't tested my cholesterol, so I don't know if like it punched that down at
Well,
all.
you're also looking for A1C there too, so you got to give it another month.
Well,
or
my
so.
A1C there was already
Oh yeah,
like
if you're
low.
already fine, yeah.
Like,
mine
yeah,
has
so-
always been within normal range too. I would like to see it low.
No,
you
mine
know.
was on the lower side. I mean, I was still within reference.
You do a lot more cardio than I do.
I mean, yeah,
I've
mine
just
was still
changed
in-
that game on myself.
Right. Mine was still low side of on the low S side of reference, but it was still like I wouldn't say it was like elite
Well,
athlete.
like it's
low.
not going to be 0.
Well, no, I mean, I think mine
yeah,
was
yeah.
like 4 or something like that. Or
That's great though.
Yeah, like it was small. Yeah, it was like or 4.5. I don't know. It was like really small, and like my doc was like, well, when do you have to start worrying? He's like, yeah, like 6, and I'm like, oh, so I'm like, well, fine.
You're fine.
He's like, no, you're 100% fine. Keep going.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
30 days, I didn't have the urge to jump into a deep dish pizza and never look back.
He's already changed
Oddly
one of the
enough,
things that they're not talking about here. He's already changed his gut biome by not eating those things. So he's not going to get the same cravings.
So this is my last day of the.
He does look better.
Dude, he looks amazing.
Looks like you got a haircut too, but maybe that's helping.
But still.
Super veggie lunch. Had my last green giant. And I gotta say, I do feel better. I do feel like I just feel better overall.
I want to see these numbers so badly.
This last 8 minutes better be just fucking math.
Just give me fucking stats.
To shit.
I feel like the energy throughout the day is a lot more even.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
I just generally feel better.
I think that's the biggest.
That's what I have to say.
This guy looks fucking amazing.
This
guy looks like a completely different person.
Your body and how it feels.
This guy's
going to keep up with it
to the extent that we have free will in the first place. But you can take agency over that stuff.
Yeah, he definitely got a haircut and a beard trim too. But
because by the time you're old, it's too late.
So
you know why? Because he was like, "Bitch, I look fantastic. I am cleaning this act up because I want to get laid."
Oh, he's definitely slaying right now. You know?
Yeah.
Again, Ryan.
My goal is to stand.
Ryan, I love you, but get the fuck off my screen.
All these celebrities
trying to do a podcast, Ryan.
Why are you? You're inconveniencing. Ryan Reynolds, call us. Be on our thing.
Blood test and another biological aging test.
Love it.
Let's look at the data. I definitely saw a steady decline in my weight.
Look at
I
that!
lost 20 pounds over the course of the 30 days.
That's amazing.
Wow.
More than I expected, but maybe less than I'd hoped. Still, it was a clear.
Dude, 20 pounds is a significant portion.
I don't think I saw a huge improvement.
That's almost a pound a day.
Or quantity.
Well, he fucking forgot his pills.
One of the most important things for your overall health.
Right, and that's the one Brian would fucking murder him on.
Looking at my body composition.
Well, you know, all right, I'm going to pause it for a second because did you see any magnesium? Did you see any like sleep type things in that?
Yeah, melatonin. No? He took 300 mics of my.
But if it's not a neurotransmitter pathway that's causing sleep problems, you got to look other places. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, a dude who's stuck to this for years with all that exercise that goes into it. Because I mean, I watched a video of his workout. By the way, that 1 hour workout is one of the most calculated workouts I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
That's probably like a fucking boot camp workout where you're just
but
fucking dead.
It is and it isn't. I mean, he's got this like one crazy exercise. I mean, every exercise has got like a super purpose. So he does like the couch stretch, where you put your put your foot up against a wall, and you lean back as far as you can. Like that dude can do that and touch his head to the wall. Like he's all the way back. So he's super fucking flexible.
Yeah, so really loose tendons or really flexible tendons and no inflammation. All right,
well,
I'm gonna hit play.
But my point is like with no inflammation, right? And all of that flexibility training, this guy's like a machine. You should see the shit he can pull off in his workouts. It's actually jaw dropping. I mean, he's fucking. He's super cut. I think they said
I just subscribed to his YouTube channel, so I guarantee I'm going to be like up at 4 a.m. watching that.
Well, they measured him. I think he measured at just under 5% body fat, and like
Jesus.
But not only is it the no body fat, but his functional strength is like off the charts. Like it's like just crazy town.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, so keep going. I want to see this.
Let's get through this. Let's bring this home. Visceral fat.
Visceral fat area is at about 165.
Dude, he dropped 35. Oh my God, more than 35.
Wow. Been able to drop that by 40, 50 points. Wow. So I'd say you can't really do much better than that.
The VO2 max test was a miserable slog still.
Because you fucking walked.
In my overall score going from a 34.6 to a 36.8.
All right.
My blood test results were also great. My cholesterol and triglycerides were dramatically lower than my previous blood test.
My triglycerides went from over 300 to just over 70, which is
Jesus.
Wow.
And my LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, has gone way down. It went down from 100.
I believe that there's somewhat of a myth to that too. But
overall, I had lost weight and was in better shape. But had I really slowed or reversed my aging? For that, we looked at the results of the biological age test. And yes, it appears that Blueprint did work. In fact, much more effectively than I had expected.
His brain
My
is still
biological
46.
age went from 36 to 33. And
In
I
a
saw
month.
Improvements
Wow.
in almost every category. Although we couldn't afford another DEXA scan or VO2 max test for Rob, he saw dramatic improvements as well. He dropped 25 pounds in weight, lost 6 inches off his waist, and he saw
Wow.
40 to 70%
Holy shit.
improvement in
Yeah,
his weightlifting
deadlift. You can
performance.
fucking, yeah.
Now, we fully admit that
Dude,
there's
his
a lot of
deadlift
debate
was a
around the
monster
accuracy of
hike, bro.
biological aging
Woof.
tests, but if you
He's in
accept
the
it as a real
300s
measure
now.
of our
That's
body's
good.
overall age, then
Look at
yes,
that.
we
I mean,
reversed
stop
aging
it.
by
Stop
adopting
it.
Bryan's blueprint.
So, having seen these numbers, having seen this dramatic,
Are we going to get a
improvement
fucking
in
list
health,
together and do this?
It makes me
I
reticent
mean, we
to go
might
back
have to.
living my life the way I
God
was.
damn it.
It makes me feel like I probably need to at least keep most of the things from the blueprint plan. I'm definitely going to make a few changes, but I'm probably going to make them very slowly and be very careful to watch how they impact my body and how my body performs.
I think that's sane what he's saying
Bryan
right
Johnson's
there.
Blueprint, there's a cadre of people that when they interface with this and they see it, they see the food that he eats and they think of it's a miserable way to live. I think when you just like look at it from a macro level, it's not crazy. It's actually just like pretty simple, sound advice. Eat whole foods, take supplements, and exercise.
He really distilled
It's
it
been
right there.
several months
Yeah.
since we filmed this experiment.
We have
and
said those
I've
exact
my
words on this show
miserable
1,000
exercise
times.
schedule.
Like,
My
I
diet
mean,
isn't anything
basically,
crazy,
But-
and I'm taking
But
fewer
you know,
supplements.
as a
I've kept the
marketer,
weight
you know
off,
what
and
this
I'm actually
is,
still
right?
losing a little bit of weight.
It's
My wife
that
says
does
Of course
that's
you are.
not sexy. That does not
And the
sell.
hard reset on aging.
You know,
I
you
guess
have
it's
to
like
have
for
a
TV,
gimmick.
right? You have to see what the results are and all that. It didn't feel like I'm like
This
getting
guy still looks
younger
great.
in any real sense, but Brian's been doing this for 2 years and we've been doing it for a few weeks, right?
I think for me, it's more of a hard reset on the idea of wellness. Should you think of your health only when it's a problem? Maybe you should start thinking about it every day. What you can do to improve
He
it
looks
every
so
day,
much
as
better
opposed to
too,
just
man.
Thinking about it when it's
I mean,
becoming an
there's
issue.
now here's the interesting thing is
what
like
will
he
it
cut
mean
out
as we learn more
alcohol
about
and
how to optimize our
THC,
diet and our lifestyles to
and the
extend
fact
our
that they
lives.
called out THC in particular means that he was definitely smoking weed before this,
picture a
and so like
scenario
my,
Doesn't he
we have a
look
good
like
sense
it
of
though?
what
Like
foods and
seriously, could he
activities
not be a
extend
guest
our
on the
healthy
show?
for sure.
You don't
Like
need to
we'd
close your
all get
eyes
stoned
to it.
together. It'd be great.
Just look around you, because we already live in that world. Doctors have been telling people to eat better and exercise regularly for
I love when they say doctors
And for
have,
just as
but
long
also,
as
you know,
you've
4 out of
been
5 doctors
You can
prefer
call that
Pall Mall cigarettes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, like, come
This
on,
is
man.
a hard reset on how we understand.
Don't give your
being
baby
human.
breast milk. That's
It's a
That's
heathen.
crazy,
Give him
yeah.
formula.
Trying to say, given the circumstance, what is the
I
most
mean, this guy just is a
practical
little
thing we can
weird.
contemplate
Is it
doing
his super
to
blue
increase
eyes?
our
It is
chance of sharing
it is
survival?
not helping.
So
The
the
super
future
blue eyes are
scenario
not
isn't
helping.
He
going
looks
forward in
he looks
technology,
like some
but
like
in philosophy.
genetically
For Bryan,
modified
this all comes down
Nazi
to free will.
Superman.
It is a little
The same
bit
way that an algorithm can get
unnerving.
me
I'm not
It
gonna
is
lie.
information
creepy.
more efficiently with a digital map. The technology to a point now where it does all these primary functions for me, which goes to your question is what is my role of decision making? And I've chosen to opt in and say,
Oh, he's definitely
I say
on the
yes to
spectrum,
an
and I don't
algorithm
mean that
that can give me
negatively.
near perfect health.
But
But
you
the
think?
fact that he can hold the fact that he can
Keep
hold
me
this
going
much
in the future
data,
because
holy
I wanna
fucking
play
shit,
new
he's
games.
jacked.
It's like crazy.
Right?
I mean,
He's insane. He also has like no amount of tan in his body.
Oh God, no.
Or on impulse.
He's almost
I
clear.
no longer pantry graze. I don't order from a menu. I don't do a spontaneous pizza party. I don't do drinks with friends late night. I don't miss it. I don't want it. They make me feel awful. I think they're bad. And hopefully soon society
Look at that
will
exercise
shift
right
and
there.
Ah,
see
fuck
Stop it. I
That's
dare
an
you to do
insane
one of
one.
those.
sense.
We got that bench showed up at our gym one day, and I was like, nah, this is a powerlifting and kettlebell gym. We don't need that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I couldn't do one of those if you had a gun to my head. Are you
Oh
stopping?
my
Are you
god,
kidding
I
me?
could get down and then just stay there.
No, I'd fall flat on my nose and break
That's
my
exactly
face.
how I'd get down. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have a fucking fractured orbital socket, and like that'd be the end of that.
So he won't succumb to the song of the sirens. Or does the impulsive version of you need to have some say in how you live your life?
You know,
Free?
that
As
is
always,
pretty
it's
interesting.
the
This
choice.
idea of
What
like,
you
are you
lose
really
and
free
what
if you're
you
doing
gain are
that?
Pretty clear.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I think we're done here.
We're done here.
Listen to this wrap
so
up.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I don't necessarily look. I think that you need guys like this to take it to the far edge.
Well, yeah. I believe that there's a couple of things happening, right? If we look at it, we talk about, what was the other guy's name, Mark or something. His view of like, yeah, don't eat like shit, exercise, do these things. I mean, that is the most Taoist statement I can think right there. And it's like this kind of like, yeah, you know. But I also do feel that, like, without the socialization, it almost feels like he's so removed from the human population. What are his social deficiencies?
And that's the thing. Like, when they looked at blue zones, number one thing was sense of community. Like,
sense of community, like, purpose.
But it was like sense of community, and then like 35 rungs on the ladder down was everything else. Like, so
you know, it's crazy. The number of fucking like blue zones where it's like, yeah, you guys are overlooking all these people chain smoking.
Yeah, right.
Right. You know, not everybody, no, but they're definitely getting lung cancer less. That's a little weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
You know?
But like, and that's but look, there's a lot of sage wisdom, and I get caught up in this a lot, and I think you do too, and or maybe you and I just don't even realize we do as much as we do in the outside world.
Do.
But like, Sarah's like, don't you think you're obsessing over this a little bit? I'm like, because when I went on like the 4-hour body, like I did exactly what Tim said. I got a spreadsheet. I made columns for left bicep, right bicep, navel, waist, left quad, right quad.
And you got the calipers and everything.
I got calipers. I every Friday, 7 a.m. I got up, I weighed myself, I took a picture, front, left, right, fucking measured everything, and literally logged it. And I did that for months. And you know what? It was the most successful drop in my entire life, because it was like, I had a system, I had a plan.
Yeah.
Everything else since then has been, well, and I mean, to be fair, I haven't really needed to do that. I went from 212 to 170.
That's amazing. Though.
Yeah, well, it is, or it was, but I was dysfunctional at 170. Like it was not working for me.
You know, when you see somebody that's dropped a lot of weight and clearly they need to lose some weight, but now their head just doesn't look right on their body.
Yeah, right.
I think that's, I got down to 180 and I was wearing skinny jeans.
Yeah. Well, 180 is
it just did not look right for me.
180 is my PowerPoint. I'm at 190 right now. And like that's like kind of like enough out of my comfort zone. So like, I've never had to do like that deep jump down like that before, but to this guy's and I think where it gets a little hard, actually, you know, it's funny. You'd appreciate this. The teaser for this on Instagram, for the guy who did it, all of the comments were this almost exactly the same. Looked up Bryan Johnson, TLDR, another comment, TLDR, another comment, TLDR. I'm like, see, that's the problem right there. Nobody wants,
you know, but once you hear that it's effort, the number of people that are like, oh no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And you and I have the too long did read twice mentality.
Yeah. But you know, everything it looks like he's doing. Yes, it's an extreme version, but there are so many little steps that people could take.
Sure.
Whether it's changing up their workout routine, changing up their diet a little, you know, like, hey, eat more vegetables.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
you know,
just
it doesn't
do that.
have to be like these guys didn't give up meat.
I mean, I wouldn't either, to be honest with you. Like, because like, honestly, I've done every diet you can imagine. Like, I've done paleo.
I don't know why they added iron. Men do not need to supplement iron at that level.
So I read up on that one time, and what the fuck? There was actually like a reason.
Because these guys, you know, what's his name isn't eating meat.
Yeah. Oh, right. Because he's not. You're right. So like they didn't interpret that. Yeah.
And this is the weird thing. And I was glad because, you know, when I did my doctorate, we had a vegan acupuncturist in the room with this dude had like 3 PhDs and an MD. He's just fucking genius. And he was teaching us all this stuff and, you know, moving super fast. And he's like, we don't need a deep level. We need a high level at this stuff. And this vegan got into it with him about like, well, spinach has more iron per, and he goes, all right, first of all, do you know how much 8 ounces of spinach is? It's bags. Second of all, guess what our body doesn't like? fucking absorbing metal through our gut.
Right.
You want to know what gets it into the body? If it's attached to a heme,
I was just going to say, doesn't
as
have
in
to
hemoglobin.
Be, yeah, as in hemoglobin, as in blood.
So yes, absolutely. And I'm not going to argue this. A vegan diet can be absolutely healthy and nutritious. Yes, there's plenty of studies on vegetarianism and how well they work. And yes, there's studies on carnivore diets and they work. But you're going to get more iron into your body if it's coming from an animal source. Well, and that sucks, but that's the way it is.
Well, hold on. It doesn't suck. I mean, do you think a lion's talking about his fucking meat intake? No, they're like...
No, but like also a lion didn't eat a bunch of mushrooms and become an apex species.
Yeah, well,
it is an apex species, but...
I mean, my point is like...
I just fucking totally Terrence McKenna there, and we don't even know if that's true.
My point is like the lion doesn't give a shit because it's not... Like, we shouldn't either.
It's like going out and murdering everything and then racing those species in cages to eat them.
No. The lion's like, I'm hungry today and I won't be for another week, so I'm going to go eat this zebra right now and I'm going to be good.
Everything I eat is grass-fed.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. I don't need to go to Wegmans to get grass-fed cheetah. Just taking that down.
This fucking gazelle is $36 a pound.
That's hilarious. Hey, have you?
Is that
have you had the free range rams? Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Well, but yeah, I'm gonna go shoot a deer and brand it as free range grass fed. Like, yeah. What happened? I hit this deer with a van. Totally organic.
Kids, go grab that raccoon. It looks fresh. Oh man. But you know what I thought was interesting though, like, is that nothing he did was outside of mostly it wasn't outside of anything.
I was hoping for something crazy.
It's exactly. There was nothing crazy. Like, yet to your earlier,
fucked up. We're fucked up because we think that's like, that's a little excessive, but
it's a little excessive, but it's totally in bounds. Hell, I've got 45-50% of that shit sitting in my house right now. Like,
and honestly, I'm taking notes going, what is that one? I don't know.
What's that other thing? Yeah. But like, he's got the high frequency. I looked up one of those things, the high frequency E-stim. Basically, the E-stim that I have could let you do like 1-to-1, like however long it takes you to do a sit up, we can zap you at the highest strength about the same amount.
Those suits, you've seen those workout suits
right
now.
Yeah.
Right. They're coming down in price. They will be home consumer models soon.
You know, that one that he strapped to his in the thing. I looked that thing up. That thing does the equivalent of 20,000 sit-ups. Like it's crazy town.
See, I've seen people using them, and I'm like, you don't look particularly fit, though. It's not.
Well, I saw Bryan's fucking abs in that video. That motherfucker is got.
Well, but like he's also doing an hour-long workout too.
No, I know. But part of it every day is like I do the hour-long workout, then I go up to my doctor's studio in my house, and I put this fucking thing on that does an additional.
My concierge physician comes in and pumps me full of this.
Well, and he does an additional 20,000 sit-ups. Like, so it's kind of like, all right, yes, you're not wrong, but at the same time, fucking 20,000 sit-ups? Are you kidding me? Like,
this is probably why I like weightlifting, because I watched this gigantic Swedish or some kind of fucking Viking dude. He was asked the question. He's like, why don't any power lifters have abs? And he goes, abs just mean you're hungry. They don't mean you're strong. And I was like, I like his attitude.
Yeah. Everything you say is amazing. Yeah.
Sir, can I have half a dozen egg omelet with you one morning?
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. But like, I'm glad we have people like Bryan in the world. I'm glad that I'm not so far out of bounds with what he does. Like,
I mean, we look completely sane.
We do. Look, totally.
And neither of us think he's out of bounds.
Now, here's my question. The guy both those guys who did that, like pretty chubby guys going into it. I'm 10 pounds admitting, like right down the middle. I'm exactly 10 pounds over what my fighting weight is. So I'm not going to say I don't have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I ain't that guy. I'm neither one of those guys. Well, for sure.
You know what? Right? I think I am, since I've been weightlifting, I don't know what my proper weight should be. I'm definitely wider. I'm definitely stronger.
Sure.
I don't do I got to lose 30 pounds?
So that's my question. You and I do this. So you and I replicate the experiment, right?
Yeah.
That guy, both of them lost 25 pounds ish. Like, I think they were both about the same in terms of weight loss. And they couldn't afford a DEXA scan for what's his name. For the black guy.
How much is that?
Funny enough, it was only like $125 for the one I did, but
there's got to be a Groupon somewhere for that guy.
100%. That's what I got. I got it as a gift, and it was 100% a Groupon situation.
And I think there's only a few of them around us.
Well, there was one downtown that I went to, and the funny part about DEXA, actually the interesting part about DEXA is that it's globally linked. So any DEXA practitioner talks to the other one. So you could actually, DEXA itself has a login as a
University of Maryland Medical Center has one. I guarantee you that's $10 million.
Yeah. Mine was
Fitness City.
Huh?
Fitness City.
I forget where mine was, but
Elkridge.
No, mine was in downtown Baltimore somewhere, which I'm sure they went out of business. It was
I think the DEXA scan was actually, there was a CrossFit gym on Eastern. Was it that one?
It was right near, it was in a CrossFit gym, yeah. But it was a separate entrance.
Yeah, but it was on Eastern. Yeah,
I think so.
I don't think the CrossFit gym's there anymore.
Yeah,
I know the owner. Or the former owner.
Yeah, so it was like a dude doing, like he had a room or 2 rooms and a DEXA scan, yeah. So
and they had cryo there for a hot second.
And I don't want to do it again right now because I am 10 pounds over and I know that. So like I feel like it would be kind of a waste. But I actually, now I'm thinking like, I did see this and I was like, well, look, I've been looking for a shot in the ass, which is why I took berberine and that chromium picolinate. And I was like, so I'm like, all right, well, hold on. I mean, I'm already on a pretty neat cocktail of supplements, right? I could probably dial that in a little bit more.
Well, but it sounds like this for us to incorporate into our lives is not, it's a little tweak here and there. And I think, we might see something pretty impressive.
So that's my question though. I'm wondering, I'm not losing 25 pounds in 30 days though. Like there's 0 chance of that happening. It's a 0% chance. I'm telling you now.
These guys are literally there for this show, right? I mean, that's what they do. They work for Freethink. They do this hard reset thing. They can dedicate that amount of time. That's production time for them. This for us is trying to fit this in between our regular day job.
I don't know if that would be that hard. I can definitely see that, especially since it'd be like research for both of us. Like, I think I can get my head around it. I guess my question,
I don't know if I can do an hour of working out per day. I can definitely move my body at least 30 minutes, but it's going to be more like the dude walking.
No, but what's wrong with that? Like he walked, he lost 25 pounds.
Yeah. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'll keep doing my weight training.
Now, what those guys didn't do, what that Bryan does do is like, they didn't do any of the, so Bryan, that left to right thing on his counter.
Yeah.
The first step is putting on a near infrared helmet for hair follicle growth.
Well, look, dude, I feel better with being bald, so I wouldn't even do that anyway.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is like, you also get a lot of that sort of, it's not just hair growth, right? It's collagen
but he also
production.
has red light, but then he also has a red light panel.
So
is he doing that?
So that's the thing. Those guys didn't do that either, right? So he does it at the same time.
We both have those.
Right. At the same time.
Readily available.
Correct.
Yeah.
At the same time, he starts the helmet and then he does that eStim, that HRV trainer on your ear that gives you that frequency zap like an eStim unit. So he's doing HRV, vagal training, and the head at the same time while he's walking down the aisle. Then he does his hour workout.
Get one of those off of Alibaba.
Well, I've got the red light panels. And you've got them at the shop.
I'm saying the HRV. Well,
I don't know the HRV thing. I don't know about. But I remember there was a company that did that for a minute. You strap it to your ear, and it's essentially a TENS unit for your ear. And it zaps at a pulsed frequency, and it's got
that can't be that expensive. You know what? We should probably revisit this topic because we've already been going on for an hour and 15.
Yeah, that's fine. We could wrap it up. But
like I think maybe it might be worth like, hey, Tom and Matt, try this blueprint thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would be down. My hypothesis right now, and I'm going on record right now, I don't think that my results, and I certainly think actually because you're in the weight training thing right now, you got a leg up on me there. I don't think there's any chance in the world you're losing 25 pounds in a month. Like, not a fucking chance.
You know what's crazy, man? When I try these crazy diets, they work, but they only work for the time I'm on them.
I see. So
right?
you have a
fairly
strong rubber band built in.
Well, but the HCG diet, right? There's like a 6-week protocol to follow up, and like around week 4, you're like, motherfucker, I'm hungry and I'm not taking the hormone anymore.
Right.
You know, and then you start eating more, and like at the same time you're moving more because you're not exhausted. What else did I do? That was like kind of crazy. Oh, the Wegovy? I didn't do Wegovy. I did Moreno. Manjaro.
The semaglutide diet.
Yeah, I just bought the semaglutide directly from a peptide company. 12 pounds in 3 months.
Did you bounce back from that?
I started training a lot more. I got a lot stronger really quick, and it's like, well, you know, a few pounds of muscle. I don't think I look as fat, but I'm fucking like, you know, I'm wearing my double XL scrub top, and I might need, you know, or a single XL, I might need the double XL.
Right.
So, you know, how much of it is fat, how much of it is, I never compared before.
Sure.
Know?
Well, listen, I'd be down to do it. And honestly, man, I really enjoyed this thing. Net. I enjoyed watching this guy. I think he really is. I wouldn't say he's a pioneer, because the funny thing is like the only thing he's a pioneer of is writing it all down. Because I mean, all the shit he's doing has been well documented, and he even
and sharing that.
Right.
I think right.
He said that like in his thing though. He's like, this is here now. It's just hidden in 10,000 studies that no one's reading.
Yeah.
Like they're just
and honestly, to have somebody put it in an order.
Sure.
Like, let me give you a cadence. Let me give you the process. Because, like, let's face it, one of the things that even, like, Dr. Oz and fucking Asprey and all them, right? There's nothing wrong with a lot of the stuff they're saying. It's one, they're trying to sell it. Maybe not Dr. Oz. But they don't, like, it's this shotgun of knowledge, right? It's like, well, what do I need and what don't I need? And how do you make this work? And, hey, if you take this, and next thing you know, you've got, you know, 800 supplements in your cabinet, and you don't even know which one of them does what and why you're taking them.
Right. Well, listen, I think we should talk about it. But anyway, let's get out of here. We're boring everybody.
I think so.
Tom, as always,
it's great. Take care, man.
Been a pleasure.
This is fun.
Later, dude.
All right, bye.
Be subversive, irreverent.
Health is wealth, but you knew that.
Everybody knows that.
But so is following us on social media at Irreverent Health. And check out our website for more exclusive content at irreverenthealth.com.
Oh, I like this.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Irreverent Health.